In that same vein, I guess, failure to succeed. What are sort of the three mistakes that you made, right? Three biggest mistakes you made in preparing for your career.
The mistakes I made, frankly, interview prep was one. Like, I guess I didn't appreciate. I thought I was just like good at talking to people, so
Go and wing it.
that was gonna translate effortlessly into interviewing really well for jobs. Like interviewing really well for a job is its own skill set. You're gonna have to be able to answer questions like tell me about yourself and like what do you see as like your most significant accomplishment and like what would you do differently now. There's going to be a list of like 20 to 50 questions that you're going to get asked. Like you can prepare for this stuff in advance. I really didn't. It made the whole like postgraduate job finding process a lot more painful than it had to be, because what I guess like what I didn't mention when I went on my whole tirade about like my whole life and all of the crap that I've done over the last 15 plus years, is that I applied to like 400 jobs when I was writing that book, like before and after, and got like a million no's. And it's because I just could have invested more time in interview prep. I also, maybe this would have been more helpful in the beginning of my career, but I just kind of obsessed over like certificates and, oh man, like this certificate and that certificate, and really it's not the credential that does anything for you. It's actually, understanding how to do something and being able to communicate to somebody else that you can do it, and then going out and actually like doing it successfully. So I'd focus like more on skills than on credentials.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I guess on the flip side, the positive of that in terms of some of the things that you did right in preparing for your career path. What are some of those?
Getting out there and starting to do things, right? Like going back to this notion of you're probably not going to hit a grand slam, but you will get on base. Like, I went out and I got on base. I hit like four singles, right? Which got me a point, or a touchdown or whatever the kids are calling it these days. But like if you think about it, like my first jobs were in political fundraising. I did think I wanted to do that, but then that ended up being like not what I wanted to do at all. I realized within a year that would have been a total disaster. But that like taught me how to sell, and then like that brought me to a student paper, which taught me how to sell into businesses, and then like that brought me over to Work for You, which taught me like a lot more about like enterprise sales with like a much more significant degree of like rigor and depth, with which actually ended up like being the thing that got me through like the next effectively like 10 years or 7 years of my career or something like that. So just like getting out there and starting to do things and kind of erring towards the things that you like and trying to reduce the amount of time that you spend on things that you dislike is like absolutely my best career advice. The second thing is, look, just try to find people that you want to work with that you really like, because at the end of the day you're going to be spending probably more time with your coworkers than you will with your significant others, future kids, best friends. Working with people, especially like working for a boss that makes you miserable, pervades every other part of your life. And working with people that you really like that end up becoming lifelong friends, which has definitely happened to me before, is like irreplaceably awesome. So if you need a litmus test as to what, like, should I go work for this company or not, make it on the basis of the folks, make it in large part on the basis of the folks that you're going to be spending all of your time with, right?
How important is culture versus tasks, and am I on the right step for where I want to go, that sort of thing?
They are both important, but to the extent that you feel like you are like really aligned with the cultural values of a place that you're going to work, you're much more likely to encounter or inspire the support of a manager, and managers that really give a shit about you and invest in you early in your career, like completely change your trajectory. So I would say for like first jobs, the culture fit stuff, I don't know. I felt like that was really important for me.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it makes you more engaged, and it makes you
Definitely.
doing something that, you're passionate about in a good environment, only good things are going to happen from that, for sure.
Yeah.